Hey everybody, this is Grace. This video is for adults only. If you are not an adult, click out of this video and do not return to the video nor the channel, the YouTube channel. Thank you. Okay, now you can imagine why I say that, why my video is age restricted, why I have it in the description that it is only for adults. And age descriptive means that if you're not an adult, you shouldn't be watching. And why, like I said, why I stated. Why all this? Okay. Some would call it overkill. Some would call it paranoia. Some would call it whatever. But I have been checking into it as much as I can even think of. that is not a solution. Those are not solutions. All of my videos are turned to age restricted. You know, they're only for adults. All my videos I've ever made in these 5+ years that I've been doing YouTube were for, all of them were for adults. Now, with this COPPA thing, the COPPA, what is it, Children's Online Privacy Protection Act? I think it is. I could be wrong. I wouldn't, because I only do videos for adults, I would never have any reason at all to go and try to find something about kids. Okay, laws about kids, about children. I just wouldn't. And I know some people are going to say, well, ignorance of the law, so on and so forth, and all that. Well, I still would not have had any reason to go look for this kind of information. And it doesn't take away from that fact. I would not have any reason to go look for information about children, to do video, to put up videos, because I don't make videos for children. I mean, seriously now. In this video, I do want to make a video about my little complaints lately. And it's not just about this, not just about YouTube, not just about this. But I've been kind of, in a way, sort of taking a little break from YouTube, in a way, in my usual way. But I had already, before I even started seeing more and more about this, I'd already put all my videos on private. And that's how I take a break, is I put my videos on private. And I might try out something on a different channel, some different way of doing videos. And that was one of the ways I had tried, because that's when I first heard this. I mean, like I said, why would I have reason to look it up? But for some reason it showed up, that about COPPA. And so I started digging into it, and I started making videos with every frame had for children only on it. But the more I've read and heard and the videos, and of course they're not all saying the same thing, and even trying to contact the Federal Trade Commission to ask a question through email, then through actual phone, speaking to two people. Yeah, I don't know any more than probably anybody that is doing videos on it. I don't know the answers at all. I don't know if this is going to cover me or not. Yeah, but would it make a difference? It's all up to, and I think the word was interpretation. Oh my goodness. But if you don't know about COPPA, go read and, you figure things out, whatever. That's not my business. I'm not here to give any advice, counseling of any sort. You know what I mean? So don't follow my lead. You do whatever you want to do. How many times I've put up all kinds of disclaimers, or in my, in my description box below each video on YouTube that I make on YouTube. But yeah, it may have sounded annoying. It may have been annoying to some people, but yeah, I've been around for a long while. So I've been online, if anything that you might call social media platform, since 1990. I've seen quite a bit. And this is not like I would take years off. This is like, and part of it I actually had to, and some of it I didn't have to, but yeah. So I have a clue. But there's still things, if you don't have the question, how are you going to get an answer? You don't even know what question to ask. So that's that part. Yeah, my phone, the name that shows up when I call somebody changed, and Adams too, because they're under my name, and his was showing up with my name on it when he called somebody that didn't have his name plugged in. And mine was showing up with my name, which is very unusual. No, not Grace. Yeah, it's a very unusual name. And as I've been seeing way too much of these days, people doxing one another. I'm a victim of identity theft myself. Yeah, I have been for many years. And you think that it's easy to try to get that fixed? No. Now, anyway, where was I? Yeah, I've just been hearing so much, and it's kind of like witnessing, I guess, people being swatted and, what's the other word? Swatted and, they by police or by, like, Child Protective Services, something, whatever it is, where they are. And they're actually videoing while it happens, coincidentally, maybe, I guess. But more than once, maybe they're on it and then somebody who's watching does it. So, anyway, that is just so low class. I mean, not low class, but low life. Yeah. That people do that to, kids. I'm not talking about the kids as the YouTubers, the kids that are the children of the YouTubers, the minors of the YouTubers. What are they facing? Oh my goodness. And I have seen or heard of a total of 4, and I think, well, all together with all kinds of, if you call them all doxing and then all of them swatting, whether it's police or the CPS, about 6 or 7 people I've heard of. Okay, that's not all of them. That's just what I've heard of. And that is just disgusting that somebody wants to take it to that level. We've had troubles with trolls since 1990 at least, that I would know of. But that's just ridiculous, And I don't care if I sound like my parents' generation anymore. I've said that before. But things were not this bad then. We didn't have the internet back when I was a kid and teenager. Nobody was calling CPS because they're online and see somebody's doing a video or live or whatever, and hey, they're going to interrupt. They're going to be the queen or king of it by calling CPS on the mom with lies. I really do hope that the people who have done that are caught, and they have plenty of time in prison to think about it, what they've done. Think about what you've done wrong. I really do hope it. And I also hope that it's not just staged. That's a worry. Some people have that staged. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that it was staged, any of them. But some people have said that. These days, what could you not say? Seriously, that's the nerve of what people will do. Really. It's just so low life. It's too many low lives, really. So, just disgusting. Okay, and speaking of disgusting, there is this happening. It's worsening. This one particular thing. In many ways, it's worsening. And I have done videos complaining about this. But it kind of goes along with that. Like, I have no reason to look this up because, this is about COPPA, because I don't do videos for children. That's different than this. Than people who say that they are, quote unquote, many people I've heard, not everybody of course, stating that they know, because they have experienced some kind of trauma in life or whatever, and this could even be medical or mental, that therefore they know more than the professionals. Like, let's just take that example of, that they have been through a trauma in life, and therefore that makes them a life coach, and they know more than all the professionals, and so therefore they can do life coaching. Life coaches, as far as I know, across the board, at least here in the United States, are not counselors. They're not therapists. They're not psychiatrists. Unless they're actually licensed with those, they are not. Whatever it is where you live, they have to be licensed. These, not the life coaches, the others. But people, now some of them have gotten so much arrogance, they're calling what they're doing therapy. That they know more than the actual therapists, licensed therapists, so they can do therapy to anybody who's watching, not individually, but as a whole. Didn't I say I was going to be complaining? Big old Bubba truck decided first off to come in the wrong way, direction, the guy in a Bubba truck. And do you know where Bubba truck is? This was a huge one. With a loud, really loud muffler. Came in the wrong way, turned around and parked right next to me, even though there were plenty of other places he could park. Right next to me where his muffler is right directed toward me, my SUV, really loud. So I said, screw this. I'm moving, and he left his motor running. He didn't turn it off. Wow, how considerate of you. What was I talking about? That of people acting as though they can give medical advice, diet advice, okay, which would, to me, would fall under medical advice, or therapy, counseling, because they've experienced it and that they don't need to have degrees. They don't need, maybe where they live they don't, but that might not be. I doubt there's many places, I don't think there would be any place in the United States where you don't have to have a license or certification, whatever it is where you live, to this governed by the state to do so. I know here you can't say you're a counselor or a therapist unless you're licensed by the state as a counselor or therapist. Okay, it's illegal. All right? But some people, they're so arrogant. They are so arrogant that they think that way. Now, someone said, well, they wouldn't know to ask that question. Really? That's very different. That's very different than COPPA. Okay? That's very different. Of course they should ask. So they should just even search to see. But no, some of them think that they can, that it's okay. They're going to get away with it. Now, here it is, people. People get away with so much crap these days. I mean, crap is not the word that I wanted to use, as you can tell. No, they get away with stuff they should not. That of swatting innocent people, hurting innocent children. Seriously? Really? No, really? And like the pregnant woman that so many people verbally attacked, verbally abused, pregnant. But some people, they have no conscience. It's all about them. They want to be the center of attention. They want to do something mean, hateful, whatever purpose they have. It's wrong. Some people still do it. They don't care. Whatever. But I am worried. I am worried that it's the people who are not doing things intentionally, who are not, let me repeat that, not doing anything intentionally. Or, in my experience in life, they're often the ones that are made examples of, or something like that. That would be downright ridiculous. But I've seen too many downright ridiculous things in my life. And before I forget, just for the record, a kid or a child is not necessarily just people, humans, individuals, 13 under the age of 13, but defined overall. Okay, some people may limit it to that, but I really don't think children, kid, any of these means under the age of 13, under the age of 13, across the board, in the United States, across the board. I don't think that. I could be wrong. I could be wrong in all of this, but I really don't think so. Okay? I really don't. Some would say that a minor is M-I-N-O-R, is the word for somebody who's not an adult. Okay, someone could say that. I've always used minor as someone who is not an adult. But then some would say, well, it's under a certain age, depending on the state. But yeah, depending on where you live, it could be different, what they do, and for what purpose. Also, like this government agency might say it is one thing, this one and another one, whatever. But I have never seen or known of children, kid, to be across the board anybody under the age of 13. But I could be wrong. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Anyway, to be safe, what's that expression? Best to be safe, not sorry. Anyway, I've done all those. I'm trying to abide by comply and all this stuff, because I'm not after money. See, I noticed that a lot of it is about the money, about the, how much money you can make on your videos now, and my channels aren't monetized even. Really, why would that apply to me? When it comes to all this money stuff, this ad stuff, my channels aren't monetized, but I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I mentioned this in a video on my original channel. Don't know which channel I put this on, but that I've seen ad breaks. My channels aren't monetized at all in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I don't meet the criteria for it. And if they were all together, yeah, I probably would. But they're not all together. So why are there ad breaks? I don't see any ads. Never seen any ads. I've seen this happen to other people who have under 1,000 and are not monetized. Under 1,000 subscribers and aren't monetized. I've seen ad breaks. I have not seen ads. Okay? I've seen the ad breaks. And some people know. Oh, you get too close, mister. Okay, and speaking of that man, his bumper sticker didn't say anything nice about women. In fact, it kind of summed him up in a really bad light. I won't repeat it, but oh my goodness, come on, seriously. And then that's another thing, really another thing, is that of people using the alphabet words. You know what I'm talking about, alphabet words, like A word, the B word, so and forth, So feeling so free to use those, and I know these are the type that will, whether they're one type or another, they're going to say freedom of speech, they're going to see that. Well, what about some decency? Really, seriously. When you start calling women the C word for all anybody can view, I find that as abusive. I find that as verbal abuse against me, and I have a right to say that. Ooh, you mean I have a right to have a freedom of speech? That's a no-no. When you counter with too many, when you say, no, I have freedom of speech, and here's my opinion too. Oh, they hate that. But it's the whole reason to have to say it, just to have to say it, to have to give an opinion, to feel compelled, not have to, but feel compelled to say, this is wrong. Okay, the people who are doing it, to me, they're such low lives. Really. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. to speak it. I'm telling you, I'm an independent, just for the record. I'm not going to hear somebody say, oh, you must be a liberal. Oh my God. Then that's the first thing people do. If somebody counters their view, is to say, you must be a liberal. And as if that discounts your whole opinion, as if you shouldn't even have one. That is false. Period. Simply. Period. End of discussion on that. But I've just seen people with so much nerve these days, and including people who say things that are so, that they just kind of go against one another. Like, for example, saying that this whole problem with COPPA is actually it's all the fault of YouTube. I'm not saying this, but this is what I've heard of YouTube. YouTube didn't put enough restrictions and show them early enough, and now we're paying the price for what they didn't do. People saying this, okay? Then turn around and say, but it's the liberals' fault because they're pushing for there to be restrictions. Is it only me who sees it as, You see me turn my head like a little curious puppy? Really? You're going to say YouTube should have? And then you're going to say the reason it is today is because of the liberals. No. Period. End of discussion. Oh, wait. You mean you have a right to your opinion? Wow. I have a right to mine, too. I'm sick of this. I'm so sick of this. Can you tell? I'm trying to sound like I'm feeling sarcastic about this, because the people who want to throw around, I know people who want to throw that. I went no contact with them, but I know the people who have that kind of mentality, that only their view is the only view, and you can't say your view, which counters theirs, which is opposite of theirs, which doesn't agree with theirs, or even say anything that fact. Don't say fact to them. Oh, no. Facts don't exist. It's just what they think and just how they feel it and how they want it to be, and that's all that matters. These are the stick their head in the sand type that say, I don't care if there's a law out there. It doesn't apply to me. Or they just don't, I'm not going to bother with that. That's somebody else's problem. And those are scary people, let me tell you. You know, the kind of thing that speed limits are simply, or speed signs at all, are simply suggestions. I've known people to think that way too. Now, do you think all these people I've known are in one side, one political party or the other political party? And by the way, there's more than two political parties. You know, in political ideologies, there's more than two. Okay? Do you think they're all either or, the ones who consider there's only two of both? No. No. I'm an independent myself. I've known other people who are independent. And guess what? They're not either one of the two that you're thinking. No. They're independent. So, some people don't get that. You know, the way I see being an independent, one part of it, just a part of it, is that I have my brain. I engage my brain. I don't need anybody to tell me how to think. I think for myself. I don't need a group to tell me how to think. I don't have to follow anybody else's rules to be a part of that. You must think this way or that way. Now, some would say, well, we don't either. Okay, good. This is how I see being an independent. You can see yours whatever way, correct? I have a right to my opinion. Whoa, wow. And yes, I have a totally different attitude. I took a little break. I needed to. I wanted to readjust. I wanted to change up some things, and I did. Before I even, like I said, started looking at all this stuff. I don't know why my phone just gave me a sign. I couldn't read it so fast. So I don't know what it did, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I think it was my alarm. It's about to go off, but no, it's got a few more minutes. I don't know, but anyway, this is how I want to start doing videos. I'm tired of the subjects I've done. I've said this how many times. I probably will return to them. If I do videos at all, this stuff just has had me just like, really? Especially the whole thing of calling, and yeah, ridiculous. And then just seeing so much of that low life people do these low life things. Wow. It's like, that's not, is it a world I want to live in? I mean, can we get it a little bit, clean it up a little bit? Yeah. As an independent. Right to my opinion too. Clean it up. Seriously. Attacking people's children? Wow. That's about as low as you can go. Seriously. Anyway, speaking of going, I'm going to wrap this up. Talk to you on another video.